as the biggest gap between like their best and their worst. And Secret are honestly starting to get up there for me for the European region, because when they look on, they look unstoppable. But there are small little mistakes that they made, like in the draft, in their lane positioning, in just where they're making movements with how the lanes are positioning, that really doesn't feel like the Team Secret that everyone knows can be a tier 1 TI, the real TI, attending team. So we'll see if they're able to switch things up, but it's very hard to do that in the middle of a series.
Yeah, that it is, to be able to flip a switch, but maybe that's where, you know, some of the experience comes through. Like we said, you know, Poppy and Heen, incredibly experienced. A lot of the other players as well, with Resolution being up multiple TIs to be able to help out. So, you know, we'll see what the case is going to be. We do have a draft coming underway very shortly here. I think a big thing for them is that we'll see if they're going to look to go back for some of the comfort. Been big fans of like the Nyx Assassin for Zayats. We've seen the Tusk Enigma work out very often for them, not only in the qualifiers, but also so far in the last chance qualifiers as well. So, you know, we'll see what Secret are going to look to do. They are on Dire's side, and they do have first pick as well.
The big thing for mine, you gotta try and make it look like Solo's feeding, basically, if you're on Team Secret. He's picking up all these spellcasters, and he's just getting away with it, right? Disruptor, Zeus, I'm missing something. Come on, he's played
Silencer?
it today. Silencer, there we go. Just these heroes that either have pretty poor escape or no escape and are incredibly squishy. I think you need to be looking to lean into that even further and try and get these heroes that are able to punish that playstyle very heavily. Ones that dive onto the backlines. Like, I know Nisha, you might feel like he needs to be the true carry for a lot of these games, but put him onto these heroes that invade. I much prefer to see him on that. And if you don't have the faith in Crystallis for whatever reason, make Rezo the true carry. Give him something like... I haven't seen any Night Stalker. I wouldn't hate to seeing a Night Stalker against a lot of these drafts, especially Navis, that can be disrupted if you just find an easy way to get A, vision, and B, go on the backlines.
We'll see so far. At least Navi going to make sure that the Enigma is not a possibility for Resolution. And for Secret, a little bit of respect as well. Out of Sweden, Strong Clockwork was... You were asking for the MVP, singing his praises, and no doubt he was a really, really big reason why that was banned out. But do you feel like it's warranted for a first phase ban, though?
Maybe against Na'Vi, just because it's something that they do play very commonly across both Solo and Sweden Strong. But what I just mentioned before was that Solo on these spellcasters looks like a completely different Solo from the one that we've seen, you know, back at the Arlington Major. You remember back then, he picked Disruptor every now and then, but he was kind of stuck on these, like, Clockwork and the Tusk and these style of, like, frontlining heroes, and it really doesn't feel like that's his strength. This was an
instant response from Na'Vi.
Instant response, yeah.
Nevertheless, oh, they go Tiny. Okay.
I mean, against... do you think this is the lane pairing? Io plus Tiny? Could be mid-Tiny.
I think it's more than more. There's a lot of flex. You can. It can be the lane pairing, like you're saying. No one can play it. You can even just go position 4 Tiny and look to, or just put it as a support and look to go for some other heroes. So the opener from Na'Vi is very, very flexible.
Give me all that team fight, though. I mean, that's the thing. People just saw True Sight, right? And it's something that we've been harping on for a while. If you see an IO, don't go single target. Go for full-on team fight, because you're not able to deal with it. And Shinkyu was saying during that LGD Spirit series, it feels like they just can't contribute anything if you go further down that route. So Team Secret, it's a strong lane for sure, the Undying, but you contribute to the team fights very heavily too, with the vision from the Tombstone, from the effects of the Tombstone, of course, forcing enemies to kind of clump into a small area, and that's exactly what a Primal Beast wants.
Yep, and it gives you a pretty good lane matchup with a double melee IO Tiny. If it is going to be in the side lane or wherever the IO is, at least you will be into one strength hero. So very, very happy there for the Undying to be able to play into.
To me, it feels like they want a Leshrac again on Na'Vi. They've banned out the Bloodseeker. They've got an IO to be able to pair together with it. Seems like the most common pairing to me.
Yeah, and that's what I was. That's why I said Leshrac in the first phase, because I kind of expected them to pick it up, and now with the Bloodseeker ban, like you said, is there anything else that you maybe if they're going to kind of pick the Lesh in the next phase, what they need to ban now?
What Secret need to ban? Or what Na'Vi need to ban, sorry.
Like Na'Vi need to ban. If they want to go down this Leshrac route, because you said the Bloodseeker is a hero that does fare very well versed in with the Rupture. Do you want to continue maybe setting up for the Lesh, or would you be kind of showing your cards and Secret could just ban it out?
People are going to call me too Wyvern focused, but ban the Wyvern against an IO. Very important. It means that you're able to just disrupt any kind of BKB run-in timings as well that the Leshrac might want to have. Sure, you might not kill the IO, but you just waste that timing, and then suddenly Primal Beast, who relies very heavily on magical damage, is actually able to do something in team fights. We're making a lot of assumptions here that it is a Lesh, but I think it is something that you need to be looking to consider.
Lesh is banned out, so Secret on the page where get rid of the Lesh. I don't even wait to see what Na'Vi are looking to go for as well.
Haven't seen as much Mirana as I was expecting. Not to say that Na'Vi are going to do it this game, but I really feel like a lot of players have been spamming it out in their pubs, and we just have barely seen a single time where it's been picked up. Against the Undying Tombstone, it would be nice, but not for how the heroes, that they've picked so far.
It definitely does feel like Na'Vi going to need some person to lean into the Undying. So you could even consider like a Snapfire as well, because it provides you a little bit of team fight. Some AoE damage is always nice because the Eye
It'd be 3 strength heroes though, and a Primal just runs onto you. So I'm not as big of a fan of the Snapfire this game. What else could you look to do? You just got to disrupt the Primal Beast somehow. Early on, it's good enough to have some stuns, but I need some BKB piercing stuns. And that's why I'm a little bit more keen on these things like, Bloodseeker kind of does Primal Beast a bit of a favor with that one being banned out. It's clear that they wanted the Leshrac, but now what do they reposition into? What else is there that's going to go through that? Beastmaster feels kind of okay, but it's more single target, and it doesn't really feel like an IO unless it's a position 1 tiny, which we haven't seen in a long time, is going to provide that benefit. Are they just doing this? Are they going like all in onto just making this tiny enormous?
Yeah, if it's a tiny or whatever carry it's going to be, they're looking to just make him have as much damage as possible and buff him up. So this is where Secret now need to consider about going for like the anti-carries. Razor is always one of them. Brewmaster's another one, but I don't think Brew in general is not very good at the moment, and also you're probably going to reveal that the Primal Beast is not a 3, so...
I'm considering Terrorblade here. I think they might be setting up to Luna as well, which I think would be pretty significant, and if you could just discourage that, then it goes a long way towards, winning the game, slowing down the timings a little bit. I think that'd be a pretty significant one. And again, if you're just made huge, Shadow Fiend's not bad either. You can use the Requiem as a lot of that repositioning as well. Solid team fight too, not all into the one area. If your timing is on point, which again, Nisha's been playing fantastically all throughout these qualifiers, then you can interrupt the relocate too. More team fight, like it. Can be seen as a bit slow though, and not able to deal with push incredibly well.
Seconds remaining.
Can they... Is there anything stopping them from even going a Drow again? Because you can probably level like a early pointing Gus, right? Would you?
Yeah. I don't think Drow's that hero that you really want with an Ogre and an IO, right? Like, of course it's going to be strong, but I just don't think it's quite at that stage. You want something that's, I don't know, a bit more of a menace early on. What else could you look to do? I'm just thinking, like, they've got a lot of heroes that are going to build up to be very tanky, but I don't think you can get away with a Phoenix on top of everything else could you look to do. I'm just thinking, like, they've got a lot of heroes that are going to build up to be very tanky, but I don't think you can get away with a Phoenix on top of everything that you've already got for Na'Vi. Like, again, it would just allow this one unit to be incredibly strong, and they would have no one to essentially hit the Supernova. But I just think it's going a little bit too far down that one strategy.
Definitely feels like Na'Vi do need some hero to be able to help out with their team fighting. I mean, you could just go down the route where you completely avoid it on Ire and just look to ball up, like we said, putting a lot into the carry.
Hey.
There's some Mirana, like you mentioned. So what's going on here? Yeah, well, are we going to get a core Mirana, which is something that is seen a little bit. I mean, you could just go down the route where you completely avoid it on Ire and just look to ball up, like we said, putting a lot into the carry.
Hey.
There's some Mirana, like you mentioned. So what's going on here? Yeah, well, are we going to get a core Mirana, which is something that is seen a little bit before TI. Nothing crazy, but people have been attempting it.
People have been playing Mirana across basically every role except 5, and we've even seen a couple of 5s when it's been into like a Beastmaster or units like that. I was honestly thinking that Na'Vi, might be considering the Nature's Prophet just for a little bit more of that fast-paced, global, decent in the laning stage. They don't have great ways to deal with the treants pushing. Sure, the Aghanim's shard isn't as strong as it used to be, but I still feel like it would have been pretty decent, even just for ganking the Shadow Fiend too.
Na'Vi's turn to ban.
See what's a potential here for, because we're looking for the Chrysalis here at the loss, and you need, again, definitely Shadow Fiend comes under the kind of the border that win condition, so you don't particularly want that for Chrysalis. Monkey King's already gone. Again, Razor's there if they want comfort. Is there anything else you could consider here for Chrysalis?
10 seconds remaining.
What do you need to deal with?
5
I think you've got
seconds
enough team
remaining.
fight now, so you can look to avoid that. I kind of want to see the Night Stalker, man. I really feel like it's going to provide them a lot. You're going to be able to get on top of the Mirana, make her a lot squishier, find the IO, which is exactly what the Primal Beast needs to be a lot more effective in these fights. Are they considering a Pudge as well? Like with this Slardar ban and with the Sniper just able to peek him down from afar? I mean, with the Huskar being banned by Na'Vi, I'm considering is this Ogre being played as a position 3? Just something that needs to be able to use his strong right click to be able to lane effectively.
I think also just a little bit
10 seconds remaining.
about the Ogre being a core.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean,
Definitely would be interesting. I mean, a point target stun for the Mirana position 4, if that was going to be the case.
Na'Vi's turn to pick.
It's around Secret. They go down the Conquer. So we did see earlier today, it was Polaris that actually picked up the Conquer and the Shadow Fiend in combination together. Of course, that was
strong.
It did look strong. It was a carry Conquer, so a safe lane Conquer. So we don't know at the moment. It can be swapped around here for Secret.
Specifically to respond to the Enigma, I think it was picked up for as
5
well.
seconds
So
remaining.
there's no real big reason for this other than just, again, anchoring team fights around a small area. Allow Shadow Fiend to just stand and fight. Allow them, if they get caught in a bad area, to be forced to fight next to a Tombstone. And right now, the only hero that's hitting a Tombstone is Mirana. So Secret's draft isn't bad. I'm still trying to figure out what Na'Vi's trying to do with this one.
Hopefully the 24th pick is able to pull it all together. They've got a lot of flex, but
You may now select
will there be
your
an Ember
heroes.
Spirit for Na'Vi? So is the Tiny going to be a 1? It's a carry IO.
All right.
Interesting. Was not expecting that.
Carry
I
IO
must
with TI. I'll believe it. You know, it's happened before. We'll see if they're able to accomplish it again. It's also going to be an
This is-
off-lane Mirana, by the way.
Also a new hero for VTune.
Also a new
So-
hero for VTune. He's doubled up once. I'm very disappointed. Twice. He played the drought previously as well.
All right, well, let's go. We got some new things here. Run off, and like you said, carry IO. Secret, they're going to be running this safe lane Shadow Fiend, and Nisha's going to be picking up the Conquer. So you know, I'm going to enjoy the ride on this one. I was having a bit of a difficult time with how the draft was setting up with the craziness coming out from Na'Vi, and I'm ready to see how this game is going to fare. Na'Vi looked incredible in game 1, so we'll see if this kind of secret strategy from them is enough to edge out the series victory.
Secret strategy against secret. That's where you want to bust it out. I don't know, man. I'm similar to you. I'm just going... Typically, the potential last series that we cast of the day, I want it to be chill. I want it to be, you know, a nice little way to ease down into it. But, of course, we potentially got those tiebreakers as well. but I'm going to need to use my brain for this one because I have no idea what Vichu's going to be doing. I have no idea what Laze is going to be doing specifically against this Kunkka as well. That's the big issue for mine. Mirana into a Kunkka, you're going to have a rough time. Like, you are going to die a lot if your positioning is not perfect. And they've got good setup for it as well. Earthshaker, Primal Beast, Kunkka, plenty of ways for a core Mirana to be dying this game.
Yeah, without a doubt. So we'll see. It's a very good Conquer pick and something that we were asking in another game for Nisha because how good he looks on the hero. And it is going to be able to make a lot of space here for Crystallis on the Shadow Fiend. A little bit of a kind of a different playstyle for Crystallis as well in that regard. So we'll see how he's able to shape up. It should be a very good lane. And Undying with the Shadow Fiend, something that as long as they can have this strong laning support, to be able to give Crystallis the time to be able to find his farm. You see the good luck specifically to Vici as well. Resolution's asking if OG is back. Or maybe it's Navi. Oh, there we go. Yeah, he swaps around. He's like, correct him. No, actually, Navi might be back.
Maybe. We'll see what happens this draft. If they can win with this draft, I think they're back. Because every cell in my body is saying, what the hell is going on here? But well, if they can make it work, then they're going to be a genuine contender.
Yeah, that's... If they make this draft work, then this gives them a lot of wiggle room in drafts to come in the playoff bracket here for the last chance qualifiers and potentially later on as well. So if they can make this work, this is going to be incredibly scary. And, I think a lot of other people are going to be watching how this IO even pays off as well, because this is something that we've seen. China at the moment are one of the few regions that is still putting a lot of priority on the IO.
Support IO. Support
yes,
IO.
That's
not the Ana
thing.
IO build. He's already got it in the quick buy, man.
The battle begins.
Helmdom into the Scepter. We'll see what's going to continue to be here. As it's a very good fissure block off. Uh-oh. Look at the Mirana. Oh, no. Crystallis. Couple of razors into the right clicks. What a fissure from Zayat.
He took those tips personally in game number one. He wants to make sure that, hey, if you're going to try and throw some of that my way, you're going to need to cop it going back the other. And, well, he's already positioning himself up here alongside Crystallis. The pairing of Resolution and Puppey going to be put down towards this bottom side. Of course, you want the Undying against any kind of strength hero just to reduce the effectiveness of the IO in the lane. Even just the overcharge is going to be quite nice with Solo, of course. Ogre dealing a huge amount of damage early on, forcing a very early use of the uproar down here by Resolution.
Look at the damage that pumping out into Resolution. Only got one set of tangos for the lane. I mean, Puppey's got 6 mangoes, so he's on spamming duties in this lane.
I mean, he's, kind of, well, I was about to say matched up a little bit by Solo, but yeah, completely understandable. You don't need tangos if you've just got all of that passive regen coming through from the mango.
I think another nice thing is you just mentioned into the melee matchup. Sorry, I keep saying melee. The strength matchup in the IO, but he also avoids the Mirana matchup, which we see often is a very good way to deal with the Undying, even though it is kind of a position 3 instead of the position 4s that we tend to see.
Mm-hmm. Don't want to see Puppey trading too much with Solo, though, even though he might play like that kind of hero. Ogre is an int hero, so I suppose it's good enough just to make sure that you're able to get a lot of these early last hits and allow Resolution to, again, be that true carry for this game. Of course, Shadow Fiend, super capable of doing it, but it means that they've been able to get a fair few denies this wave, and now it's going to be pushing back towards the secret tower. So, job well done by Puppey from the very beginning. It was, not flaming, but questioning some of the laning mechanics that he had in game number 1, or rather the laning position that he was putting himself into. Not this time around. He's playing it very well.
Yes. Now, you were mentioning that leading into the qualifiers, we're kind of starting to see the Mirana played in a little bit of different roles. What has been kind of the position 3 build, and what are we to expect out of Laze in this game?
I think it's just something that's super capable of right-clicking. You can go into the Maelstrom, you can go an Atos style of build if you want to go full-on pick-off, and honestly, that's the way that Na'Vi want to be playing, right? They've got an IO draft, they've got that relocate potential, they've got Sweden Strong for the burst, so they just want to be able to enable a lot of that as much as possible and avoid this team fight that Secret are going to be looking to push for.
So that is definitely one of the big strengths that Secret have at the moment, the team fight, whereas you take a look at Na'Vi, they don't particularly have that. Like, this is going to be a lineup that really has to snowball this game, right?
Oh, for sure. Like, this is... that's why I was so confused and worried about Na'Vi's draft, because it does feel like they're all in on this one specific type of strategy. You think of carries that scale into the late game. Mirana's not one of them. Io isn't one of them anymore, with all of the nerfs to the carry Io that they did. So...
No one... Oh my lord, Nisha is just bodying mid. A beautiful solo kill. The use of the glyph as well, and well-deserved hit. Resolution, recognizing how well Nisha is off to a good start here.
Sure, even getting the, I believe that's the money creep that went underneath the tower as well, so it's going to make this lane look even worse for no one. As Nisha, is he going to have the freedom to walk all the way back to base just to refill? No, never mind, going for the body block, making sure the creep wave is just in a rough spot for no one regardless. Wonder when they're going to look to try and make some more of these aggressive moves. Early point in the spirits, of course, leveled up on the bottom side, and Solo's taken a lot of damage, but shows the importance of that.
Solo being able to blow him up, and meanwhile top lane as well as Sweden Strong just surviving with a quick TP out. They'd already used, so it looks like Zayats, he wasn't able to cancel that, so very nicely done. But the Tiny's not going to be the lane. Doesn't look like it matters too much with the position of the creep wave from Lays, so we'll be okay solo at the moment.
Flies is getting a good amount out of this lane. I mean, against the Shadow Fiend Earthshaker, it's not the hardest lane by any means. You know, you're always going to be able to jump over the Fisher.
Solo again. You just TP'd back, my friend. Okay. That's a lot of damage that's coming out between these two now.
And that's not a lot of regen that they've got for the lane as well. Of course, Io has the Helm of Iron Will, so if you were looking to just pair that one together, but Solo going to be able to build up any stacks in his time, or is it just securing this bounty route, making sure that... I'm not sure who exactly would want to take that one anyway. Maybe they just want to get to this early timing as quickly as possible and can't afford for no one on his Ember Spirit to go back into the jungle to claim it. Otherwise, Nisha, with that advantage that he's already built up, would start to really put the pressure onto your towers.
Yeah, it's going to be really scary with Nisha because he's already got the level 6. So with Ember Spirit, I mean, traditionally, as a game matchup versus the Ember is really nice. So the Ember Spirit, really good matchup versus the Conquer. Apologies. You have difficult time for the boat being able to connect. As the game goes on, Conquer can look to itemize into a Hex to kind of deal with that. But we do see it's a little bit different in the lane so far. Bottom lane, Solo. Yeah, Resolution's going to be able to charge on forward. He's got some stick charge with the help of Io's Tether as well. Solo will actually live. Beautifully done.
Alright, he survives to live another day. But, a Ring of Regen coming out to him. Very nice. That's going to provide him with barely any regen, but every little bit counts. I mean, he's having a rough time on this bottom side. He needs to buy, of course.
Oh, no one's in trouble. He's already used the slide, so will not be able to dodge the boat. Sweden Strong's going to look to TP in. Bring up in a couple of seconds. No one. Great repositioning away from the Tiny, so they won't get that extra damage. Nisha's might continue actually onto the Tiny instead. Nisha's like, alright, if I can't get the Ember, I may as well get the freebie and Tiny's life.
We'll have to do, although he's
he's in tower range, yeah. Look at the extra damage that's coming up at Nisha with a torrent. Turn around the slide, no one. Oh, that's a gigantic kill for him to find. I think Solo did soak up some of the experience, but no one just to turn it around with how poor this lane was looking. That is big for his early game now.
Absolutely, just being able to get that turnaround there. Yeah, it costs a lot. You know, you do give that solo kill as well from Sweden Strong over to Nisha on the Kunkka, but yeah, he's going to start the recovery, not necessarily in net worth, but absolutely in levels. Now he's level 6, now you're much less vulnerable to Kunkka soloing you down.
Look at that. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Was it a timing where a fight soon to break out? I'm looking at bottom. All that's going on. What do we got? Resolution, 2 points. Trample. Vitune very close to the helm of the Dominator. So this is time for Secret to get aggressive. They got the Tombstone at the ready. Quick, who's going to win this fight? Same team name.
No team fight.
Oh,
never mind.
Team Resolution. Be cautious. Spirits are going to expire and Soul is just going to be trampled down. Although, look at the rotation coming up from no one, but the level 6 picked up prior, but Resolution But move himself away with the onslaught, so they're going to go for Poppy instead. He's got a lot of health to bring down. Decay up in a couple seconds, which is going to help out with Poppy's life pool. So no one's forced to use another Remnant on forward, but with Vici being nearby, Tower's going to only tickle the Ember. Now back to mid lane we go, as Zayats in combination with Nisha will be able to run into Sweden Strong. Was a key component in Na'Vi in game 1, but is off to a bit more of a tricky start here on the Tiny.
Good positioning as well from Secret, making sure they're playing as much as they can on the Radiant side of the river. They knew someone would want to come and soak up a lot of that experience was about to be pushed underneath the tower. And Tiny, of course, one of the better ones, better position 4s, excuse me, to play with that XP. So it just means that they're able to cut off his avenue of securing that, they get a free kill, and they still deny a lot of this golden experience underneath the tower. So many different little benefits obtained from one simple movement and positioning of your heroes in the mid lane. Two levels ahead on Nisha as well in the mid.
With the Invis rune, let's see if the stun control's going to be enough for the triple raise. Nice. He is going to play with a couple of 1 charges, which is enough to keep him alive. It was a nice attempt, however, from Secret.
Reza right now is just farming the Helm of the Dominator creep as well. He might be in a little bit of trouble here, but he's going to have to back off. With Vici not quite able to do enough here, and well, the trample's coming up shortly, so Solo has to be very careful with how he's looking to position himself. Soul Ring, much more expensive, so you hit those timings much later.
First stun, no one's okay with the Flame Guard to protect him. We'll be trying to force some extra TP rotations. No one's falling pretty low. Meanwhile, bottom lane, however, with Resolution, he's by himself. There's going to be no assistance coming out. They've already used the stomp, but it's the right clicks that will do the work to chase him down. That big kill for them to find. Slowing down Resolution's game and giving Vici a little bit of extra gold towards that scepter that he's looking for as his next item.
It's a lot of those little items, like I was saying, Solo, just with a simple Windlace, meant that he was able to get that tiny bit of extra range away from Rezo, who's trying to get the solo kill, build up a lot of that experience for himself. It's even got the completed Tranquil Boots now. Having to be a bit careful here. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to deal with Nisha.
Oh no, the Fijo! It blocks Nisha on the high ground, and look at the wraparound coming through from Na'Vi. A beautiful avalanche combo onto 2. They've got the fall with the Centaur Conqueror. The Brom buff is making them work for the kill. Well, Millian still be able to bring down Nisha, but the turnaround might be there with the Tombstone. They're just completely avoiding this area as Resolution's trying to catch up to the eye, but Vici, he wants a high five instead as Sweden Strong's going to send him packing, but Resolution gets closer to no one's position. A Remnant out to the left side.
Gotta kill the zombies.
But Resolution doesn't have a way to close the distance with the onslaught being on cooldown, and now he's the only one left standing for the members of Secret. But he's got the Tombstone still to work with, so he's going to charge on full, the trample as well. Just beats down Sweden Strong. Nothing that you can do. This Primal Beast, 4 points in the trample, a ridiculous amount of damage.
All the while, Crystallis free to just farm up top here, right? He's not really contested at all. A lot of space being created by 3 separate heroes. He is having a much better laning stage than last game, and let's have a think about what it's actually going to accomplish for the team with Crystallis. Of course, your position 1 having a good game, it's not rocket science, but it's going to open up a lot of these towers. It's going to allow you to give the Earthshaker a bit more farm, to be able to be greedy, to pick up that Blink Dagger, to be able to contend against this lineup with the Io that you know it's going to start running at your face as soon as he's got the Aghanims and he's level 15. The other issue I have with the Io is, though, well, hopefully no one dies while I'm talking, although Solo, he's getting dived underneath this tier 1 tower bottom. Might be able to get the turnaround, but seems like they're just going to leave him for dead. Remember what happened in one of the more recent patches, right? They made levels much harder to come by, specifically after level 11. So I feel like that timing to level 15, it's going to be a lot longer.
No one? Smoke from either side. Secret saw Na'Vi smoking down, so they instantly use their own to look to try and intercept this. They'll turn towards the Tiny. The Ember Spirit, a much more difficult hero to be able to bring down, but a nice use of the Glyph, however, is going to stop no one from being able to deal with the catapult wave. Keep the tower. Oh no. Oh well.
It's nearly dead anyway, it's fine. He remnanted away. I was about to say there's no way for him to rejoin, but he might look to prioritize mid instead. Just looking to cut the wave for now, it seems. No one in that mid lane.
Oh, just look at that right click. Ay, ay, ay. A lot of damage.
Oh yeah. Crystallis is farmed as heck.
Solo's nearby. See what Crystallis if he has to be cautious. Knight is level 3. It's a lot of damage that you need to respect.
Most of the time, I'm the advocate of single point bloodlust. This game, who's really using it? You know, like Io, not really. Ember Spirit, not really. He's a sleight of fist gamer. Do you need the extra attack speed on Mirana with the leaps? Probably not. He's actually going into the Aghanim Scepter. We haven't looked at Lies for quite some time. He just wants to be able to deal a lot of that AoE damage, perhaps to be able to combat some of this team fight that they've got going from Team Secret.
Yeah, what do we need to see out of Na'Vi? Because they are down, it was 3,000, the targeting claimed, it's now only 2,000, and we mentioned earlier that this is a lineup that needs to be playing from ahead. So what are we looking for shortly here for Na'Vi to try and get back and reclaim the lead?
I don't think they can do anything shortly. I think they're just trying to outgreed Team Secret right now. You've got Maelstrom about to be picked up on no one. They're going to try and defend their mid-tier 1.
Yeah, look at the Tombstone to drop the middle of the fight as well. Secret are daring Na'Vi to take this skirmish, and this can now open up the tier 1 tower as well, which is going to be a lot of map control going Secret's way. And with Crystallis nearby, there's not much Na'Vi can do. A glyph will only delay them for the moment. Actually, charge on full. Oh, what a combo! Zayats with the fissure, Resolution with the follow-up. They blow up the Ember. No one wasn't ready for it.
Wasn't ready at all. And again, it's not just what it provides to the cause. It's not just what it's going to give you in terms of kills. This opens up so much space now for Zayats to be able to farm. He can be placed into that dead lane. He can be placed anywhere on the map, essentially. Probably wants to use the Echo Slam while he can, looking to pair up with Nisha for the next little bit, but for sure, they've just given him a huge avenue to become that real position 4 menace that we've seen him be so many times.
Now just making it even easier for them on the other heroes. You mentioned the supports, but now Crystallis can just go back to the triangle freely. It's very difficult for Na'Vi. We're waiting for the Scepter now, really, for Vici. He's got 2 components. Yep. And needs like
it wasn't just the Scepter that made it strong at TI9. It was the Scepter and level 15. And like I was saying before, the timings of being able to get to level 15 are ridiculously slower than what they used to be. So you don't get this unbeatable IO that you just can't contend with.
Na'Vi again just smoked underwater. I saw no pings come out from Secret, but probably some... Well, Nisha's not backing
now
up as
for
well.
sure.
Tower is under attack.
Did he get revealed? Never mind.
It doesn't.
That'll
no,
reveal
the
people.
Tidebringer will. He's pretty close to a tier 1 tower. He can use the boat
Zayats
defensively as well, but the arrow's going to be on the mark, preventing the run buff. Will not even come out fast enough as even Vici tries to relocate down in case the fight breaks out. So, yeah, Secret just... Maybe just not watching the map of that 1 second when Na'Vi looked to go for the smoke. That's a big pick-off for them to find Tanisha, who was having a very good game.
Yeah, that's how close these guys are. You just can't make a simple mistake like that because suddenly you've given the IO a little bit more time. He's nearly level 12. Not that it's that huge for a carry IO, but 650 gold away from getting the Aghanim Scepter for himself.
Nice kill for Zayats to find. Plus 210 gold into the bank. In fact, that is the Aghanim Shard now completed here for the Earthshaker. So it's going to be a lot of issues for them to deal with. The chain control into Resolution's follow-up. The torrent from afar as well.
Even if another attempt like that happens, right? You probably maybe live on Nisha just because of the extra stuns.
We might see it now. It doesn't have it yet delivered on Zayats. Oh, if they had that, it potentially would have been enough to get the kill.
For sure. Well, the waiting game is nearly over. He's going into the BKB after the next few items for...
Nice. He's in trouble. Zayats starts with a fissure, even drops the Echo Slam as well, feeling like they needed that extra little bit of damage and control to prevent the leap away. He was playing with 18 one-charges, so Rana might have been able to live, but now with the kill from Secret, they've got the bottom lane shoved out, and Crystallis is already in the neighborhood to be able to connect as well. So this tower, they don't have glyph. This is going to be a tier 2 tower.
Mm-hmm. The other big issue that I keep mentioning, that IO not having that level 15 means that by the time he gets it, and by the time he truly is dishing out this undealable with damage, you're going to have BKBs on multiple heroes, so it's not going to be quite as big of a deal. You can actually look to fight into it. So you can see Crystallis, he's about 1,000 gold away. Nisha's got his coming out on the Courier. So this IO probably isn't going to be as strong as I'm sure Na'Vi were hoping.
Radiant are scanning.
Even just taking away a lot of the farm that the IO is wanting to be picking up, right? If you've got the Aghanim Scepter, it's just constantly able to have it out, farming up a lot of these creep camps. Sweden Strong might be able to get the pick.
And I'll say Zayats, he does have Nisha off to the right side. Vitrine's having some difficulties getting the damage out, and now with the rotations coming out from Secret, they'll be able to connect fast enough to trade a 1-for-1. Na'Vi's going to bring more numbers as well. They've got a really good ward on the higher ground, but Dara is so goddamn tanky. This is not going to be an easy fight for them to take. They're going to try and jump into the middle. Look at all the AoE damage, though. Conker goes down. Poppy's going to fall as well. There's Na'Vi. There's some much-needed kills.
Felt a little bit odd, right? Like, you'd already lost the Earthshaker at the start of that entire engagement. You didn't have your Shadow Fiend here as the most farmed hero on the map. Did they even pop the BKB on Nisha? No, they didn't. It was just that chain control coming through with a great arrow, I believe, from Lies, right?
Yeah, I think it connected. I mean, there was a lot of chaos in that fight. I'm not sure who it hit on, but yeah, I believe so. Let's take a look. I think I see in the fire recap. Yeah, he did get stunned, so. Take a look at the replay as well with how that was set up. So, I mean, just a perfect positioning out of Sweden Strong. That gives him a little bit of time now to work towards a blink. He's very close to it.
He's now able to, and he's finished the Aghanim Scepter on Lies as well. So, increased capability of being able to farm, to be able to take a lot of these team fights, to perhaps force some earlier usages out of some spells, out of the BKBs than they might be wanting. The real timing for me for Secret is going to be around this BKB on the Primal Beast. Then there's absolutely nothing that's going to be able to stop Resolution from creating a lot of this chaos. I can see Crystallis is going for the Shadow Blade, and I like it, but I kind of feel like the Blink Dagger would be an even better tool for them to be able to take a lot of these fights. Just instantly get on top of them if you find the pick.
Oh, this is scary now, because Secret are daring Na'Vi to take another team fight, saying, sure, we had the advantage last time, or you're at least able to get the finally a victory in the skirmish, but good luck doing it now when we have firm control of the pit. Winterstrong's got the blink, but look at Zayat's positioning off to the left side. A Fissure holding the back. Winterstrong will get some distance, and he can blink away as well. So no one's at least going to go down, but Secret do get the Aegis for free, and that's going to be given over to Crystallis.
Yeah. Nice tower. Again, it's these little things, right? They know that they're playing from behind right now. They know that their draft's a little bit unorthodox. And again, they know that they're waiting for level 15 on Io. He's got it. They gave over the 20-minute tome. It's honestly pretty damn quick. I mean, Io, back at the last game of TI9, I feel, got it the exact same period. So Pichune's having a phenomenal game.
Very impressed. Same level as the Shadow Fiend, who is 1-0 and the top last hits as well. So he's been freely farming across the map. So the fact that he is in the position that he is well, we see unfortunately Solo's not in the greatest position. They do see the rest of the team vulnerable at the moment. Sweden Strong might be able to jump in. They need to follow up someone else to be able to have some stun control. Oh, Puppy's going to run into both the heroes, and Crystallis will not mess around. An instant use of the BKB into the Requiem's going to send Na'Vi packing. Do they want to take the fight now? They know the BKB was used. This could be an opening for Na'Vi.
They see him entirely.
Chains into the arrow. The damage is going to come through. Sweden Strong tosses him up, but no, they don't finish their food. Finally, the Spirits from afar is enough to get the kill, but Resolution's going to charge into the middle with the Echo Slam follow-up as well, along with the tome. Vitrine can't get the tether away, but the arrow for good measure, however, Lies will provide the damage to be able to kill off Zayat, and Na'Vi still have 4 members to try and take the skirmish. The chains disrupting the onslaught, so Resolution will not be able to reposition, but Chris Lies, he wants a way to be able to re-enter the fight. Onto Sweden Strong they go. With the next combination, it's enough to find the kill, but again, the chains and arrow from afar, they don't have the extra damage from the ire required to stick around, so Na'Vi need to get out and cut their losses.
This long-ass team fight, man. It felt like it just kept going and going and going. And, well, the team that wins out in the end is going to be Secret. You aren't quite capable of withstanding a lot of this damage that's coming through. And if you don't find that pick-off, like, as a clear win, a 1-for-nothing, then you're always going to be on the back foot when you're coming up against all of this team fight that Team Secret have. I said it before, you got to make Solo look like he's feeding, and it kind of looks that way this game. 1-8-4, not close to the 3-2-22 that he had last time around, and it does feel like he's so much more comfortable on those spellcaster types, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, very much it does, so. I think we saw the potential for success in some of the fights, though, for Na'Vi. It seems like they really need to play their distance, where if you can... Because at the moment for Secret, their stun lock is great, but once they're used, they don't have much after it. Like, Fisher's got a little bit of a cooldown, the Torrent as well, the Onslaught as well. If you don't have them, then and if you miss out on that initial star, if Na'Vi can reposition, play with the chain spam, play with the arrow spam, and kind of the damage from Eye from afar, they might be able to get a kill and then have the numbers advantage where you can set up for like another kind of small skirmish. So I think we have to see that out in Na'Vi.
Vichu's really starting to build up a lot of this damage component, though, and I really feel like they're about to group up for a big smoke, but they actually preempt that on Secret. They look to try and pick a hero off before they can make any kind of play.
Still.
He's got the BKB. He picked it up just then. But yeah, that was the timing that they were waiting for, and to be forced to use a BKB defensively is a really big loss. Like, now they can look to very comfortably take this when they only use the boat. It's up in another 55 seconds, and you've got plenty else that's going to enable you to start sieging these tier 2 towers and potentially going up onto the high ground.
Nisha with the Shadow Blade, it's about to expire. He's got the BKB, they're going to look to jump in. Let's see if the damage is going to be enough for the chain control. It will be nicely done from Na'Vi. And Puppy's the only one to rotate. They're going to get out now, Secret. They're starting to backstab. They will. Looks like Crystallis a long TP, but he will escape.
Just want to try and shove out this mid lane as much as possible. Claim the Invis rune on Zayats. Here we go. This is probably the biggest window that Na'Vi have had all game. They want to keep the push forward. They want to open up the map a little bit more for themselves to be able to make these pickoffs, because it means that the smokes, the avenues, and the pathing that you're able to make is just so much faster. And at this level of Dota, it comes down to a matter of seconds. So if you're able to just find that hero with a couple of seconds faster, it means that they won't have recognized it.
Limit Cape Magic Resistance should be able to help out. We've still got some members nearby, but Secret is starting to move on over. Ice can play around with the Eul Scepter to try and disrupt the combination out of the Conquer, so he's going to be okay. Meanwhile, to the triangle, though, they're onto the IO. Zayats and Resolution, but Vichu gets the BKB off in the nick of time. And now Resolution, he's stuck in no man's land. Na'Vi are moving on over. They will not have a way to disrupt the BKB TP out. But again, this is another window now for Na'Vi, recognizing that Rezo's BKB is on cooldown.
Yeah, for sure. You did, again, have to pop it on the IO, though. So you're not going to be feeling incredible about Vichu just having that one available. But Rezo, he's just going into the refresher. He wants to be this constant source of panic and chaos, especially now that Crystal is getting into towards the Skadi, something that you really want to be able to deal with that IO. Suddenly can't just sit in the middle of a team fight with the overcharge popped. Or that healing regen coming through.
I like the item that we see queued up at the moment for Puppy. It definitely feels like Na'Vi have this potential to blow one hero up. Toss into the burst from the Mirana, helping up with the Scepter. So just being able to reposition someone is going to be very important to disrupt that initial start from Na'Vi.
Yeah, he's going to need to make sure he's clicking on the portrait at the top of the screen, though, because good luck trying to force stuff someone mid-tiny combo. Crystallis is ready, though. He's got that BKB, he's got the Specialist's Array.
They're baiting Nisha. They're going to take the bait. As in they go. Sweet and strong. Blown up with no remorse. And now... Ice. Again, they're your Scepter. Going to allow him to get out of the X. Nisha's hunting for solo, though. Oh, these goddamn zombie men. They might be able to go back to the Conquer, but again, the Glimmer Cape. No one's going to try and play around with the BKB, but the right clicks are starting to stack up. No one. One more right click, no, the Moonlight Shadow. Oh, it just expired. Crystallis was able to fire him. The Remnant wasn't far enough away.
It's a big kill. He is essentially playing the role that Resolution is for Secret. For no one to be going down, there's really nothing frontlining for them. You know, we've seen if V-Tune's able to get on, if they're able to get on top of V-Tune, he could still go down, but he's starting to build up a good amount of damage for himself too. Level 18, Crystallis finished up, and Daedalus is next on the menu.
Interesting. A right-clicking battle between the Ayu and the Shadow Fiend.
Oh, and he just got the
I have
Paladin
to-
sword.
Oh, all right, that's going to help out a little bit. Again, like you mentioned, Scotty's going to be a very nice item for Crystallis this game, which he has now completed. I have to imagine Shadow Fiend's going to win out on this trade.
If he can... Did he buy the shard just then? He had it queued up previously, so looks like he just wants to try and out-sustain him rather than try and fear him away and stop a lot of the tether bonuses from coming through. Like, start fearing him when the overcharge is more of a factor. Of course, if you can get it free from Roshan, that's going to go a long way towards helping. And only a minute and 15 seconds away. They're looking to make another attempt, though. Nice and aggressive.
Oh, they clumped up. Smoke instantly gonna pop. They got the vision, but look at the counter. No messing around with the use of the BKB. He's gonna jump in the middle and try and take Zayats out of the equation. Off to the left side, though. Resolution with the Pulverize will get Navi's position for as well. But no one, he's by himself. They're trying to time the torrent perfectly with the remnant down. No one's still in trouble as Resolution lines up the onslaught, has the control required.
It's just so much team fight.
And it's so difficult, like you said, to play these 5-on-5s, but Na'Vi so looking to try and find an avenue in. This will be off the mark, unfortunately, with the arrows. So looks like Secret are going to be okay, and their only casualty was the Earthshaker.
Yeah, they're pinging out Roche, praying for it to be up. They need this win to really secure themselves that better spot. Here's an upper bracket seed, and well, it's still going to be another 20 seconds away.
Rezo's ready. Nisha, beautiful torrent. The chain control is ever so perfect. Great observer ward placement from Secret.
Yeah, of course, he needs the damage to be able to, A, get the farm, to be able to truly feel like a carry, but without that BKB available, with this Primal Beast, especially the Primal Beast that I was going into the Blink Dagger, but went back into the Refresher, that plus the Kunkka just means a dead Mirana almost every single time.
Again, Nisha. You're going to look to just enter the high ground and pop a BKB. He's not going to wait to see who's home from Na'Vi. With the Tombstone drop from Poppy on the side, slowing down Sweet and Strong. And it's going to be a long chase here from Secret under the T2 tower. See if they're going to allow the Tiny to escape, and they won't continue to play aggressively.
They should just be checking Roshan pretty consistently. You know, maybe just not wanting to let them go on to any kind of high ground.
The Echo set for the chain control again. No one goes down with Crystallis in prime position to capitalize on the control. The damage is stacking up. It's going to go for the dive. They're a bit separated. The
buyback.
Nice arrow. Lice is on point. Clipping onto Nisha. Now Resolution. His BKB is going to expire as well. They're kiting the Primal Beast. Now they can look to move on forward though. Lice needs to be on point.
Oh, they could get the jam off Puppy.
He wants to use it to set up, but instead they're going to go for Puppy. The much easier target from Secret. The arrow does.
They might get both.
Shadow Fiend as well. He's got the BKB. Chris is going to look to pop it and stand his ground. Targeting down Sweet and Strong at the moment.
What the?
It sends Resolution into the middle. Not where he wants to be, but the Primal Beast with the help of the Requiem. Look at the damage follow from afar. They will still end up going down. The Requiem covers the retreat from the Shadow Fiend. Zayats will not be able to TP out though. As Na'Vi, multiple buybacks forced out. One from Sweet and Strong, one from no one as well. But that successful team fight will enable them now to take Roshan.
Two incredible arrows coming through from Lies there, connecting on and allowing that buyback to come through from no one on the Ember Spirit. He realized how worthwhile it was to be able to get back into this team fight because of when it was happening throughout the game. Lies there, we're just seeing the level 1 death there, but he's certainly come back ever since then. And with Roshan about to go down, it's going to give him... Actually, they give the Aegis over to V-Tune. Okay. I was thinking maybe they might give it over to no one since he doesn't have that buyback available. Might be a bit of a misplay because he had freed up the spot for it.
Yeah, I wonder if... I wonder if no one has to itemize defensively now, or like something else next up. He's going Shivas, which I suppose is somewhat defensive and aggressive. Yeah, the armor is going to be very, very nice versus the Shadow Fiend. And it take a look. That was a long team fight. This replay is going to go for a while.
That's all right. We got to pause. We got time. But there we go, the arrow coming through, enabling the buyback. Look at that, just landing onto such a key hero in the middle of these engagements. They take out Nisha without the boat being popped. I'm not sure if he used the BKB either. And then your formation just crumbles on Secret. You're based around the team fight. Puppey at this time still had about 15 seconds left on the tombstone. Being able to kill him meant that you get the gem as well. Such a huge net worth swing going back in Navi's favor.
Sweet and Strong, nice attempt with the blink. Nisha would be able to sidestep the arrow as well. Sweet and Strong was one of the members that did buy back, so he's going to be in the grave for 80 seconds. But it does look like the lanes are in a pretty good position. And Navi might not lose much. Maybe a tier 2 tower, actually, in the mid lane.
Better to die now than, you know, later on when they're potentially looking to siege onto the high ground, right?
Yes. It's time for the Mirana BKB to be completed as well. Still trying to get the items, but it definitely, even though Secret didn't find the second Roshan, now the ones with the lead, 10,000 net worth, still in prime position to be able to even out this series at 1-1 apiece.
And the 4-staff is really important on solo, but okay, there we go. I much prefer this Aghanim Shard now that you're really just looking to hit like a truck on Crystallis. He's already got, wouldn't you know it, the Crystallis in his inventory, and he's going into the Daedalus next. So it's really just all about being able to stop that initial burst damage. You're the team that should have the pickoff. Secret shouldn't be able to get pickoffs against you. That's not what you've drafted for.
It was a measly old ceremonial robe on the ground that was Navi's, and Puppey's going to yoink that, and he's even going to use it as well. So Navi lose one of their tier 3 neutral items.
Really good when combined together with an Earthshaker who's holding onto an enchanted quiver, which, I mean, I guess they really want that single target pickoff.
Smoke on smoke. Secret have the high ground. Not going to be in a position where they can
gave
pop
it up.
Crystallis. A bit cautious. The rest of the team a little bit away. Is going to instantly use the BKB, but no one's in trouble. They got the stun into the chain control. Can they blow him up? No one brought back.
He lived.
They're unable to do it. He gets the BKB off out to the left side. The remnant back and forth. The Shadow Fiend, though, he's the one that's in trouble. Crystallis is trying to stand his ground. The lifesteal isn't going to be enough to be able to turn it around. The Shadow Fiend goes down. Navi, how can they set themselves up, though? But the Aegis respawn from Vici, and they're going to play defensively. Get the resources back up and then maybe look to push to the opposite side of the map as Navi. All they lose is Sweet and Strong and the Aegis. What a team fight from them.
Oh, he's just able to survive there on no one, and he created so much havoc. Even just getting that cleanup kill onto the Earthshaker. It was his remnant, just that little bit of tick damage coming through from the Aghanim Shard that ended up getting him the kill and the Cloak of Flames. He's full role-playing right now, just flames on flames on flames.
They're going to have He's just going to be pretty cautious. He has to be really quick with his X. Okay, so away from life.
Solo.
Jesus, my lord.
Well, he's got the Flame Guard as well. Sorry, the Fire Shield. So, how much more fire do you think there can be?
More fire. Pick a Radiance up for no one?
Yeah, it's more of a burn. Yeah, I get what you mean, fire.
Oh, like... What's fire burns, right?
I don't know where you're from. The north side of the city.
Resolution? Hope a stray arrow doesn't go into the tree line, my friend. They're coming, actually, Secret. Resolution's going to be setting up. He's going to jump with the
Oh, quick fingers.
At BKB, he's got the silence as well, thanks to the neutral items. So Resolution has to use it to charge away. Nisha will be able to cleave down Solo. Sweet and Strong to the jump into the middle. They're very tanky from Secret. They're splitting up their damage at the moment. Not the worst from Navi, though. A lot was forced out. Multiple BKBs, the boat as well. As soon as Solo respawns, they might consider about making something happen.
So Solo just got one shot there by Nisha. You'll have to see it. And maybe he's going to switch to something a little bit more defensive. What kind of items can he look to hold on to? Ring of Aquila, maybe? I don't know. The Eye of Vici is pretty damn value just to be able to stay far enough away, but I just need to be an item. Do you go down the route of a Solar Crest even? Just look to give that over to Vici?
I think Vlad's would be kind of nice, honestly.
Yeah.
A little bit of armor. I'm trying to think of like an armor item. I was going to say just go for a casual ring of protection.
Would help.
Lads will a little bit. Because like you said, you want this eye of the Vizier. I mean, you can get a lot of armor from some of the neutral items, but you just go into the Vlads instead because there'll be a lot of benefit out of it to help with the eye. Buff him up even more.
They know they're over to the right-hand side. I believe no one was under that smoke, and it popped as he was mid-slide of fist, so...
Just saw Nisha as well moving to the bottom jungle with that ward. They're kind of aware of Secret's position, but they don't have much vision set up right now from Na'Vi. Atrian's actually going to relocate. What's he looking for at the moment? Looking to maybe cut top?
Nice composure coming through from Secret as well. Nisha had 5 seconds left on the BKB, and he's been dangerously close.
Sweet and Strong gets a jump. This is a lot of the control for Secret through the fight. Again, the Glimmer Cape used defensively. Solo's going to look to enter the fight. They're going to be cautious though, Na'Vi. As soon as the Tombstones lay it down, they don't have control of the area. Resolution. An early use of the BKB. A jump in. Oh, nice reactions from no one up to the northern side. But he too has to use the BKB incredibly defensively. And Na'Vi now, they need to get out.
Yeah, they've given up this little choke point that they want to be playing around. Of course, no one able to create so much chaos in the middle of these team fights, and he's bringing a lot of the attention away from him. He's done a great job to recover his game. He was sitting 6th on the net worth of all of the cores for quite some time, but he's certainly come back into it with his great presence in these past few team fights, and if he can get up to level 25, that's just going to expand even further. Gone are the days, unfortunately for him, that you can go into the refresher. It's really not worth it at all to hold on to that item as an Ember Spirit anymore since the changes to the cooldown not ticking down in the backpack.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That's not a bad item here for Io. Just going to hold the Witchbane. Nice little attack speed buff up and a Purge as well. See what else I can help provide them. There's not too much to purge off in this game, I suppose. Maybe he just wants it for the attack speed. What else can he use? Oh, that's a big one though for no one. Spell Prism coming out on the Courier, I believe. Shiva's almost completed as well for the Ember.
Yeah, it's going to be a big bonus for him, especially considering you're going up against the Mask of Madness. You're going up against, actually, yeah, the Satanic, not quite yet finished up yet for Chrysalis, but certainly very value, even just with the Holy Locket on the Undying for Puppey. It's very clear that they just want to enable Chrysalis as much as possible. So much damage, man. Poor Solo. He's just getting one shot left, right, and center. Daedalus on Conquer, Daedalus on Shadow Feed, Earthshaker. He was holding on to the, what do you call it, Enchanted Quiver, just to be able to potentially one-shot him with the Enchant Totem.
Buyback status. Only raiding with buybacks, the Tiny and the Ogre for this team fight. Trying to set up for the Power Rune. Only a measly invis. Swedistrom's actually going to look to jump in. Starting onto Puppey's not the greatest target. He's able to lay down the Tombstone.
They arrowed Puppey.
Turn it back around though. The arrow does connect. No one gonna try and poke from behind. In fact, Remnant's into the middle as well. Tiny does buy back. Ooh, look at that, man. A third of Vitra Intelligence going from one crit, but Roche is not up, so they're not going to get too much out of the buyback here from Sweet and Strong.
Oh, they're going to try to. They're going to go for this invis, even popping a smoke just on Sweet and Strong. He is once again fulfilling the role that they have him for. He wants to be that one leading the charge. If they're able to pop that smoke and find the key pick-off, especially when those BKBs are on cooldown, that's going to be huge.
Well, no one. Remnants in aggressively. But the ward on the high ground is going to be cautious with the chain control. Is it going to be enough to blow him up? That's the case. No one's gone. That's his dieback. 2 minutes without the Ember Spirit. Now Na'Vi have got to get out.
They do, and Secret,
resolution.
They got to get pushing. He wants more. He wants to try and pick off Sweet and Strong. A second dieback would be so huge for him. Uses the flicker just to try and close in that range. He's got the the blink dagger.
Puppey's tipping behind them. Let's see if they're going to be able to blow up the Undying before Secret Shot. Oh,
See ya, puppy.
They are. Vitri's damage, couple of crits and an easy kill. And now Nisha's going to even look to deep into the outpost as well. They're going to be cautious without fighting with no one. Separated thanks to the fissure, but Nisha's clean. Oh my lord, bye-bye, Ogre. The rest of Na'Vi once again sent packing. They will not have stuns to be able to cancel the TP, so at least some members of Na'Vi will escape.
2,400 damage on that cleave from the Kunkka and his Tidebringer. It's just way too much. There's nothing that you could do on this poor Ogre Magi. He needs to be in the middle of these fights just to use the Fire Shield so that his cause can live, but he's giving up his life so many times. And Secret, they're going to be able to claim this third Roshan. You would assume he's got a nice little refresher shard on for them as well. You would assume that maybe the Earthshaker's going to be the one to pick that one up.
They're coming. If Swedenstrong's perfect with the timing, get some information. Arrow as well. They know Roche is low. Tiny backed a little bit too far away from distance to be able to blink in. So Chrysalis with the Aegis. Refresher shot in the backpack of the Shadow Fiend for the moment, and Resolution is holding the cheese as well.
My keyboard is not working.
I mean, it would have meant too much for the dieback to come at that stage because it's a calculated risk, right? And I think without the Ember Spirit, you just can't go for that team fight. You might pick it up, but then you're just dead again, and then Secret can look to go up into your high ground with a guaranteed 5v4 situation.
Scary now. First level 25 of the game is going to be for the Shadow Fiend.
Careful with where you're standing, Solo, as well. Just in the base with Nisha just looking to come forward, blink in, use the Tidebringer, and he's nearly level 25 as well, so it's going to get even harder.
They're starting to move top. So that's my... Oh, Physic actually clips onto both, but it's only the Ogre that they're going to see for the moment. Elias will be able to TP out. This has given Na'Vi an opportunity to shove out mid and bottom. No one's going to try and move over the Secret Shot, but they have the ward on the high ground. No one's going to be cautious.
Ooh, nice try.
Very close to landing the Echo Slam.
Those quick fingers, man. That is sweaty palms moment for sure if you're no one, thinking that you were this close to losing this game. Already 20k net worth down, and if he fell into the grave again, no buybacks still available for about 550 gold. So he's going to stick himself onto the bottom side. I'm sure the call is going to be just hole yourself up in the base. Don't give up your life for free, but they might.
Swedenstrong, no yours picked up, is looking to itemize down that route. Without it at the moment, no way to be able to disrupt the X combination. He's gone. 80 seconds in the buyback. Not available for him, so Na'Vi gonna have to hold 4v5.
Yeah, no one's not even there yet. He's gonna remnant back once he's got the buyback available, but just short of level 25. He wants to get it off the creep wave. There we go. Second slide of fist charge. It's all about the chaos. Keep the lane shoved out as much as possible.
Rezo's actually going to jump onto the IO. Is the fire shot going to be enough to keep Vici alive? But look at the backline though. They're falling lower and lower. Refresher used from Resolution. So the second use of the Pulverize is enough to get rid of the IO. But Chrysalis is not dead just yet. Finally, Elias has got the damage to go through the first life. But it's cost Na'Vi so much. It's Rezo. Back in he goes. They get the buyback out of Vici, and this is a big victory. Na'Vi, they need more kills, and that's when no one can come into play. A remnant into the middle. The chain to try and disrupt the combination, but the Requiem still comes out. The Pulverize
He's going to go in.
No one is going to rejoin once again. He's got the remnant to play with off the back of the buyback, so we'll be able to finally deal with the Shadow Fiend. He can almost catch up to Resolution as well.
Oh, no one. The predictions.
He eats the cheese, but the relocate's going to come out. Resolution stuck in between the tree line as Na'Vi. They'll get a couple of kills, but it was such a costly defense from them.
It was for sure, but look at who doesn't have buyback. It's the Kunkka, it's the Shadow Fiend, and even this bounty rune. So maybe if they get all of them, they're out on the map. There's 3 at the moment. Zayats, if he's able to invade into the enemy jungle, look to pick that one up. Maybe it's going to be able to allow them to defend against this. The positive side is that it's not a lineup that pushes incredibly quickly. Sure, you've got the Bloodlust. Sure, you've got a lot of strong spells to be able to with the Daedalus, but you don't crit towers. So that's one of the big issues that Na'Vi are going to have. Can they stall this one out long enough? There's the double bounty pickup. Still a little bit short, though, on the buyback gold. It's all about protecting these siege creeps, it feels.
It's a big item as well, just completed for the Mirana.
Dire's
He's
middle tower is under
got
attack.
the Wind Waker now to be working with.
It just shows there, even the pro players sometimes forget about these little changes. Rezo, that entire fight was holding on to the refresher shard, forgetting that it doesn't, the cooldown doesn't go paired together with the refresher orb. And well, maybe that would have made a different bit of the team fight. Maybe if you had that second Echo Slam, things could have been a bit different because, I mean, no one just popped off in the middle of that engagement.
Dire's top tower is under
Give it over to the
attack.
Earthshaker now. See what Zayats can get out of this. Because again, it's a big condition now for Secret. A lot of buybacks were forced out from Na'Vi prior. No one has a buyback on Radiant. Sweden Strong's going to come up in a little bit. Ice just needs a little bit of gold as well. A little bit, 600 is a lot at this stage when you're all grouped up like this.
It's a tense moment for sure. Who's going to make the misstep? They've even got the Wind Waker now, which is a really useful tool. Even that BKB with the ultimate on the Primal Beast, it's interruptible. You could just Yule Scepter whoever gets caught out, and of course you've got great ways to be able to get right on in there. All 3 leap charges plus the Blink Dagger, so Lies is going to be such a big part of these next team fights for Na'Vi if they're going to stand any chance of withstanding the Death Ball.
Can you Wind Waker a BKB target?
Oh, good question. But you're not going to be getting slammed, right? Oh, no, Pelvo's Piercing Magic Community. Never mind. Rezo's level 26. Didn't even realize.
Yeah, that's a really, really big talent for Secret. That's another big item as well. Vici now with the Lincolns. Not quite sure. Okay, he's gone for the attack tethered allies target.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Alrighty. Butterfly even queued up next as well for the IO. See, I'm honestly quite surprised with how much damage he's been doing scaling into this game. I wasn't quite sure how the IO would be able to shape up at the later stages, but we do see he's pumping out some damage.
He is for sure. Sweden Strong is going to catch out Puppy here.
No one else is here to follow up. You can chuck Puppet to the higher ground, but they get the stunner to no one as well. The BKB is going to come out fast enough. The reactions from no one's going to be able to keep him alive, but the Polarized, they don't have an answer. The damage, no one just escapes out to the left side, but the rest of Na'Vi, they need to get out. As Lies is the one that's getting targeted down.
So
Science
close.
is just too late. Almost clipping with the fissure. Lies with the BKB TP. He'll escape, however. The Na'Vi might be able to all get away.
Somehow they get away. Rezo just not going for the Pulverize onto the Mirana that was positioned next to him. Not sure if he had vision or not. Of course, we have that advantage of seeing both teams' perspectives, but it's so tense. Really can go either way. And well, with that IO, he is in there for saves. And well, he actually did go ahead and buy the Refresher Orb onto no one. Okay. Looks like he's set. These are the items that he's going to have essentially for the remainder of the game. He's just looking to try and build onto them. So Gleipnir coming next just so that he's not giving that one up. Again, you can't backpack the Refresher Orb anymore. It loses all of its value.
Now we've got a lane ward to play with top. A lot of information that Secret might not expect out of them.
I think he's still got to wait for some of these remnant charges though.
They could try a toss into the Yours on Chrysalis. Oh no, the communication's not there. Zayats is here, but it's not the greatest Echo Slam. They'll kill off Sweden Strong. They want to jump now. No one's going to move into mid with a Pulverize from Resolution with the right-click damage. No one, again, just escaping on a slither of health.
He's going to go back in.
Pop the Refresher and wants to go back in. He needs some extra damage coming for the friendly members on Na'Vi.
He's out of mana.
Vitrian's going to try and enter the fight, but the instant use of the Requiem will stop the right-clicks from the Isle, and it looks like Secret have finally been able to crack Na'Vi. It's took a while, but without the buybacks, how can Na'Vi hold the base?
Yeah, the communication is coming through
Is on
from
the
Secret.
right side. Fissure into the Pulverize. This time he'll go down.
It's got to be no
all
one
up to
again.
No one. It's a lot of damage. Look at this. No one finds a double kill. Remnant's
The
going to be
fear.
refreshed as well. Can he get enough distance away to the right side? No one slipping in, dodging away to the tree line, but Niche is there. A torrent initially.
Is Nisha about to die back?
Zayat as well is going to try and move in for the chain control. And they'll finally be able to kill off no one.
Whoa. And they finally got this period where there's no buybacks available on anyone except for Crystallis. And well, he's still a little bit cautious. He's a little bit anxious, but I really don't feel like he could be burst down now. He's even got the Satanic that I wouldn't begrudge him from just wanting to pop it onto a creep wave, get all the way back up to full, and go the safe route. Look to push in all of these lanes. No point in trying to end it right now. Well, I mean, potentially there is, but you could very easily just go slow and look to secure it.
Oh, so Wind Waker run. Oh, no, they didn't. Okay.
They didn't reposition him.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
You know, these guys, they're just having fun. They're in the C region, right? This is the old CGG. The game is not up until that throne explodes.
It's a classic fake GG. Okay, I see.
There we go. The horn sounds for the mega creeps, and Chrysalis, he's going to realize that he's actually telling the truth for once. A Dota player being honest. They never imagined it. They don't have an Ember Spirit, they don't have an IO, they don't have a way to defend outside of this glyph, but there's just way too many creeps. Even the siege creep still surviving. Whacking into that tier 4 tower. They're going to go for one last defense, but seems a little bit futile.
Toss and arrow. They're going to try and go for the Earthshaker. Oh, Zayac just gets the BKB off though, but nice reactions away from the fissure. The throne's exposed and Io, he's exposed as well. As there we go. Baturin said throne, and well, after the death, he'll drop the G's as well, as in the end, Na'Vi and Secret will go 1-1 apiece.
Whew. Able to claim it. I mean, a 1-1. It's pretty fitting for how these guys were playing in the early game so far, and I mean, they're going to be looking pretty healthy towards how the groups are going to be finishing up as Team Secret able to claim a victory with against a bit of a wonky draft looking from Na'Vi. You know, maybe they were, again, just